Wait, am I fucking recording? Oh shit, I'm fucking recording. Holy shit. Uh, um, uh, okay, let's. Oh wait, sorry, I forgot to introduce. Hello everyone. I'm Raisai, and today we will be on Raicordings episode 2. As you may or may not remember from last time, I discussed my first week in League Dependency, where I used the former draft of the person who I substituted for, which is Chibi. So today I'll be discussing the draft that I ended up using after making transactions because I wasn't exactly a fan of the draft I had at the time. So without further ado, LD Season 9, the run of the American City skill issues. So before I get into my draft, I think one thing I have to say about this league is that it was at the very start of Gen 9. So like imagine imagine Pokemon Scarlet and White, they released at November 18. This league started on like November 18.5 or some shit, I don't know. It was really crazy. Nobody knew what was good yet, which is why you have a lot of weird tiers. For example, you have Sheddale legal, you have Last Respects legal. There's an 8-point Annihilate in this league, 9-point Skeledirge, Terra Spectre. Yeah, it's this league is crazy, and this draft I'm gonna show you how I got crazy in this league, not mentally insane. So the team. Here is the old draft. It's very stinky. Um, yeah, it was fine, I guess, but the main thing I wanted to change here was that Basque Legion, right? Like, Last Respects is uber duper broken. It's a new Gen 9 move, Ghost type, physical, and it's better than Poltergeist because it starts out with 50 base power, but for every fainted teammate, you now get plus 50 base power. So it caps out at 300, which is really broken with Basque Legion. But on this draft, it had to be a Scarf bot because only 78 speed, that's not enough. So what I wanted to do, I wanted to reshape this draft to not only get better Terra Captains, but to also enable Basque Legion. Let's see what we have. Uh, so first we have, wait a minute. This isn't Mega Gallade. What Pokemon is this? I wonder. Oh wait, fuck! I forgot to put the slide. It was supposed to say Iron Valiant on the next slide with this picture, but yeah, this isn't Mega Gallade. It looks like Mega Gallade and Mega Gardevoir, but it's actually a new Paradox Pokemon introduced in Scarlet and Violet called uh, what's the shit called again? Iron Valiant. Yeah, there. Okay, Iron Valiant. So with with base 116 speed, 130, 120 offenses, a fairy fighting typing, this Pokemon is really broken. It's on the top tier of every league right now, and it's always banned with Terra. But in this league, where it's super early, this guy is not just allowed, but also can terrestrialize. So he or they are our first Terra Captain. Introducing Iron Valiant. This guy, he can do a lot of things. Can click Swords Dance. It has priority in Shadow Sneak. Can also be Calm Mind with Terra Electric Thunderbolt. It has so many moves. Has Close Combat, Spirit Break, Moonblast, Thunderbolt, Shadow Ball, all the crazy Gallade and Gardevoir moves. It even has Liquidation, which is really cool. So he can be a Scarf bot, not a Scarf bot. He can be a Scarfer, a band setup guy. Very cool mon. I really respect it. The main problem is its special defense, and eh, you know, don't need to worry about that if you kill everything, right? With the power of terrestrial. Oh, sorry, I don't like saying that. With terrestrialization, a lot of potential. I love this Pokemon. You'll see in the next weeks, it's going to be very broken. Iron Valiant, we're happy to have you on the team. On the second pick, or I guess the second one, because I technically didn't pick it. The second one on this draft is Landorus Therian form. So I don't think I need to say much about this one. It does a lot of stuff. Can set up Stealth Rock, can click Swords Dance, has very good stats, has Intimidate, so that it doesn't really worry about physical attackers all too much. The main problem is that in Scarview, it lost Knockoff, which is... it lost Knockoff, Defog, and Rock Polish, which is kind of sad because those are moves that it really liked using, but it's still Landorus Therian. It has good stats, Earthquake, and still Stealth Rock and U-Turn. It's going to be a very good enabler and can be a breaker in certain instances. Can be a Bulkymon. It can be whatever I want it to be, except a knocker because it doesn't have knockoff. With the ground flying typing, it has a lot of immunities, just to electric, to ground, a lot of resistances, such as to poison, such as what else does this typing resist? Fighting, yeah, there. Okay, it resists that too. Very good mon. Not much I have to say about it. Does a lot. Landorus Therian, welcome to the team. The third one we have is an actual flying type, ZAPDOS. This guy has been like a top dog or top bird, top chicken, whatever, I don't know. Top dog for so many generations. Has good stats, good speed, decent special attack, good bulk that it can, flex or it can change depending on the MU. Has static so that it discourages Pokemon from clicking knockoff and U-turn. Has Hurricane, Discharge, a lot of ways it can force progress in an MU. Just like Landorus though, it did suffer the Paldea curse, I guess. I don't know. It lost Defog. Oh, that's actually way less than I remember. But yeah, it lost Defog, which is kind of sad because, like, imagine if I already had Landorus, Therian, and Zapdos, I'd have 2 removers, which would have been valuable in this hazard-heavy meta. But we cope. Still a good mon. Can be physically defensive and paralyze everything with static. And yeah, Zapdos, welcome to the team. Good special attacker, good bulky guy, good pivot. You will be a good Pokemon. So here is the main man introduced in Pokemon Legends Arceus, starting off as a pretty mediocre Pokemon. This Pokemon, Basculegion, once Scarlet and Violet came in, it got special new move, as I said earlier, Last Respects. It rewards you for playing badly, which is my favorite part. Like, you can just sack all your Pokemon, and then as long as you either have Rain Up, or you have a Scarf and all your Terra Normal opponents or your soccer guys are dead, this guy just lets loose. It's worth noting, I only have the male form in this one, because the male and the female form are pretty different. The female form is more specially oriented, meaning it's worse, because I want to use Last Respects. But this guy, he was originally on the team. He's a good Scarfer. I don't think I need to run Choice Band on this guy because like Last Respects already just does so much. With other strong stabs like Liquidate or like Hydro Pump or sorry, not Hydro Pump, Wave Crash, Liquidation, and if I really wanted to, I could run Mixed, I guess, on adaptability, agility sets. Meaning, I don't always need Rain. I can be Scarf. I can be bulky agility. Decent stats. It has pretty low defenses in like 65, 75, but has a gargantuan 120 HP. So while it isn't the bulkiest, it can eat hits pretty well. Basculegion, broken guy, clicks the Last Respects button or clicks the water move. Who cares? It's broken. I love Basculegion. Cool mon, and I absolutely love the design. Now for... oh my god, I hope the frame rate isn't as bad as I see it right now in the final video. Anyway, Meowscarada. Oh, this mon. Very good mon. It is. What do I like about this one again? Oh yeah, I remember now. It's one of the few guys that kept knockoff in Gen 9 because, as you may know, a lot of the mons, like dark types and stuff, lost knockoff. Meowscarada is one of the few dark types that still has knockoff for some reason. And outside of knockoff, this mon is just a very good enabler of this deck. But it clicks so many good buttons, right? Like, has good coverage. It has Play Rough, Knockoff, Flower Trick. It can go Overgrow or it can go Protean to boost its other stabs. It even has Thunder Punch. Could you believe it? Like, this thing can hit Corviknight super effectively, which is cool. Um, on top of attacking, this guy also has U-turn for pivoting into my bigger threats like Iron Valiant, Zapdos, Landorus Therian, and Basculegion. Um, he also has Sucker Punch as priority for boosted Pokemon, for faster Pokemon like Dragapult. What it also has Trick. So if it can go Choice Band and Trick off its band to defensive Pokemon like Corviknight if it wants to. And this is my favorite part, or my second favorite part. This guy has spikes. Not just spikes, but also toxic spikes. So yes, if I don't want, if like my attacks aren't that strong, I can enable my other Pokemon by setting spikes or setting toxic spikes, and suddenly your check that like what are your bulky mons in Pokemon right now? Well, whatever. Like the bulky Pokemon, it now has to fear spikes, or it now has to fear spikes. It now has to fear toxic spikes. Like Tinglu, for example, I can set toxic spikes, and now it can't switch in as much anymore to stuff like Zapdos and Landorus Therian, or stuff like maybe fire types like Chi-Yu. It can't switch into this despite being a fire dark type because it worries about knockoff or stab U-turn. Meowscarada, like, you know, it's Meowscarada. This guy's broken as hell. Good stabs, good coverage, and surprisingly hits hard too with 110 special attack. It also has 123 speed, meaning that it outspeeds stuff like Tornadus Therian and other fast Pokemon. It's just so good. I really love this Pokemon. Good enabler, good breaker, good revenger. You can't go wrong with Meowscarada. If you're in a league and you have the option, get this thing round 2 or early round 3. It is very, very broken. I love Meowscarada. Not sexually. Okay, here's the 6th pick. Oh my god. This is supposed to spell Tinkaton. Yeah. Tinkaton. Not Meowscarada. Tinkaton is the yeah, I can't focus on this shit. Let me just fix this real quick. There you go. Okay. Okay, Tinkaton, yes. You're so broke. This mon, I used to have my doubts about it because everyone say, "Oh, Tinkaton is my favorite Pokemon ever," and half of those guys are bullshitting. They just like this thing because of its design and because it looks funny, I guess. The main standout is it has a 160 base power move in Gigaton Hammer. But who cares about that when you only have 75 attack, right? I'll tell you who cares. Not me, but someone does. But I eventually learned to love this Pokemon. Here's why. It's not because of its attack, but because of its utility. It has surprisingly okay bulk and I think 80 HP. And while 75 defense isn't exactly the greatest, it can eat physical hits if it really needs to, with a maximum physical investment and maximum HP. And with a broken typing like Fairy Steel, you resist a lot of good types, or good offensive types, like Dragon, like Dark, like Grass. Or I don't know if Grass is a good offensive type, but it resists those types. It's so good at being defensive. On top of that, it also has Rocks, Thunder Wave, so it can punish. It has many ways of punishing monsters that want to switch in. It even has Knockoff. This thing isn't even a dark type. Why does it keep knockoff? Or why does it get knockoff? That's weird. But, I'll take it. Knockoff. And my favorite part is that it gets Encore. So if you want to set up on this thing, or if, say, I fight an Annihilate, this thing clicks Encore, and now you're locked into Bulk Up. You're locked into Dragon, or not Dragon. You're locked into Bulk Up. You're locked into Swords Dance. And with a surprisingly good speed stat of 94, this thing can get away with a lot. He's just a very good enabler, a very good cheap utility mon. This Pokemon costs like 8 points, I think. So yeah, even though it didn't turn out as great as people expected it to be, still a good Pokemon. It's great cheap utility, has pretty good roll compression. If I really wanted to, I could even run Swords Dance on this thing because it gets the Gigaton Hammer, like I said, Player of, which is a pretty good stab. Even gets Ice Hammer, which is Carbominable's exclusive move ever since Gen 7, but now this has it, I guess. So yeah, Tinkerton, welcome to the team. You're a very cool guy. Or sorry, you're a very cool girl. Ah, here's the unconventional pick. I mentioned earlier I wanted Basque Legion to be more than a scarf bot. This is why I drafted Pelipper. It's literally the only reason I drafted Pelipper, to be honest. Because let's be honest, I'm not fucking using Thunder on ZAPDOS. That's LARP as shit. Pelipper doesn't really do much. It has good physical defense, I guess. It can eat fighting moves, I guess. But those guys carry rock moves, so not exactly the best. But this guy is okay. Hurricane hits decently hard. Water moves also hit decently hard because of rain. It can knock. This is one of the few Pokemon that kept knock off. Like what? It's not even a dark type. What? Why does it have knock off? Like of all the Pokemon that could keep knock off in the entire game, you make this piece of shit do it? Like what? But yeah, whatever. I won't complain. I guess it's nice knocking off the heavy duty boots of Slowking. And on top of that, it's also another good enabler, a U-turner, so it can bring in big threats like Iron Valiant. Like, say you want to send in your Slowking on this, now I click U-turn, I send in Meowscarada in. I can keep continuous momentum with this guy and my other Pokemon because of thanks to this guy having U-turn, while also having water, or sorry, not water, while having Drizzle to boost Basculegion, but also to weaken fire moves for Tinkaton, which might be nice. So yeah, Pelipper, you know, you're not my favorite, but for just this instance, I'll draft you. You're a cool guy, as long as you do your job. Uh, this Charina. It's a grass type. It's one of the few Pokemon that kept removal in Gen 9, which okay, this is one of my main problems in Generation 9. Like there's almost no Pokemon in the game that still has, or there's very little Pokemon that has defog or spin right now. So it's a very hot commodity. I really, really don't like this Pokemon, but I didn't have much of a choice. Removal was very scarce. So this is about as good as it gets, and the ground resist, I guess, can be nice because like I'm not switching Meowscarada into Earthquakes that thinks defenses are abysmal. Charina, or Tsarina, uh, I guess decent defensive utility. It lost knockoff. Unfortunately, this isn't one of the non-dark types to keep knockoff. Wish it did, but can't complain, I guess, because like I have other good ones. But yeah, Trina, not much to say about it. It's ground resist, a spinner, and a U-turner, I guess, for more pivoting on this team because I definitely need more of that. Yeah, welcome to the draft, I guess. What? Oh, this. Oh yeah, I drafted a Crocodile. Yeah, this is one of the few Pokemon I changed on this team, along with Tinkaton and Pelipper. I didn't have too many points left, so I guess it didn't really matter. Um, Out of the few one pointers, this one stood out because decent defensive stats with Eviolite, a good ability in Unaware, and I made my Terra Captain, I guess, because like, if for some reason I get a matchup that has a super Sakari setup threat, I guess I could use Crocodile if I really needed to. It's not like I will, but like compared to other one pointers, it's okay. So yeah, uh, fake Coco, welcome to the team. Okay, so now we're on the last member of the team, Okidogi. Uh, yeah, this is one of my favorite Pokemon from the Isle of Paldea. Uh, I I I didn't feel Meowscarada was enough, so I needed. You know how this draft had Mousehold in it, and then now it has Meowscarada. I had to complete the Tom and Jerry core, right? So I had to get Spike, who is also coincidentally Grass and Dark. Because we definitely need more of that. Uh, yeah, Choice Band Okidogi is very good with base 130 speed. It can kill a lot of Pokemon. Scarf knockoff is nice. Scarf power of Kitagami is also good. It can click U-turn. It can set up spikes. It can set up webs. Okidogi is pretty good. I think it'll be a good fit on this team. And with, oh good lord, this frame rate. um, with that, fuck. Sorry if I sound weird. I have an allergy. Yeah, funny story actually. I was eating the other day, and then like my exams finished. I got food in the cafeteria, and then I said it's eating time, and then I proceeded to eat all over these guys. I fucking fell asleep, and then I woke up. I got allergic rhinitis. It really wasn't funny, but I guess it happened. So anyway, league dependency. I'm excited. Are you excited? I hope you are. You better be. I'm so excited for my run. This draft looks so fun. We have good Pokemon like Basculegion and the Broken Terra Iron Valiant. Good enablers, good U-turners everywhere. Zapdos, Landorus Therian, Masquerada, Pelipper. Good utility like in Okidogi, Tinkton, spikes and rocks from Masquerada and Landorus Therian. You know, this team, I can't wait to use, or I can't wait to show you all how it went. And with that, thank you all for attending today's session of Raicordings. I hope you have a horrible weekend and have a nice day.